This is Mouth Media Network, the business of being heard.
Hey everybody, it's your good buddy Marc here on Funny People Talking. Dresden's not with us this week. We're taking another week off, but I thought I would share a really wonderful old episode of Monkey Radio with Marc, which Funny People Talking is a reboot of. A number of years ago, my former co-host Ben Rose and I, along with Elsie, recorded an on-location episode at Baconery in New York. Baconery used to be a baked goods plus bacon extraordinary business, and they were a sponsor of Monkey Radio with Marc at the time. And we got a chance to record a few episodes on location at their store. It was a wonderful time. And we also were visited by a couple of guests, including Steve Benson. You may remember him from episode 1 of Funny People Talking with Clarity. He was the guitarist on location with us. So Steve joined us for this show on location. And our guest was Chad Beguelin. Chad Beguelin is a 6-time Tony Award nominee. His works include Disney's Aladdin, The Prom, The Wedding Singer. He wrote the lyrics for the Broadway musical Elf. He has just had so many recognitions, from Tony Award nominations to Drama Desk Award nominations. He's just a really amazing talent, and he was the guest on this show. So get ready for a lot of fun with this incredible episode from the Wayback Machine with guitarist Steve Benson, my co-host Ben Rose, our guest, Chad Beguelin, and lots of other surprises. Enjoy the show.
What kind of radio swings through the trees, has fleas and dirt on its knees? Monkey radio, yeah, monkey radio. What kind of radio in charge of the world would give a banana to every boy and girl? Monkey radio, ooh, ah, 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 monkey radio. With funky Elsie and monkey Marc, I'd rather walk through Central Park in the dark than listen to one transmission of monkey radio. That's just simply not true.
They sure work hard, don't they, Barney?
Yeah? I hate to see them work so hard.
Yeah, me too. Let's go around back where we can't see them.
Hello? I'm about to do you a big favor.
On location from the Baconery World Headquarters in New York City. And with 350,000 downloads worldwide, this is Monkey Radio.
From Baconery. Ooh. Welcome to the show, everyone. I am your host, Marc.
I am Ben.
And the announcer told you, and it is true. Last show, we told you we were not safely nestled into the belly of the Monkey Radio studios. Oh no! We have ventured out into the real world, much like the groundhog risking our lives to deliver better entertainment for you, my fellow monkeys. And today, our microphones have once again landed inside the mothership, the world headquarters of our wonderful sponsor, Baconery. We are again recording one more show, actually inside their storefront at 911 Columbus Avenue in New York City. Later in the show, we will check in again with the guy who started it all, Wesley Klein. The show is on fire! Woo! It has been downloaded well more than 325,000 times, and we are proud to report that Blog Talk Radio has selected Monkey Radio as a featured host. And to celebrate, because you are listening to this episode, you are in luck. We have a tremendous show for you today. First, as you can hear, we have live music. World-class guitarist Steve Benson is here one more time. He's one of the most highly demanded Broadway and session guitarists in New York City. Has worked with Phoebe Snow, John Sebastian, Natalie Cole, Jessica Simpson, Nick Lachey, and more. Currently performs in Broadway and the orchestra pits of several shows. And he is here today with us and will play us through our show. Amazing!
Incredible.
We're going to hear from a new feature on our show, Kim Pulsive. Kind of, I don't know, a little story about upcoming Valentine's Day. And we're going to dust off one of our favorite games and make up a song. You don't want to miss that. What could possibly go wrong? And wow, a lot of music on program today. Chad Beguelin is the Tony Award-nominated book writer and lyricist of The Wedding Singer, which premiered on Broadway. He wrote the lyrics for the Broadway musical Elf, which also premiered on Broadway. He's a recipient of many prestigious awards. He's also nominated for a Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Lyrics, as well as a Tony Award nominations for Best Original Score and Best Book of a Musical for The Wedding Singer. One of the rising stars in the very popular world of theater. Chad Beguelin will be here with us. How do we do it, Ben?
I don't know. Very well.
Also, folks, don't forget to check out the website, monkeyradio.info. You can hear all of our past episodes, watch our series of Monkey Radio animated shorts for free. Cowis Animation is slaving away on 2 new ones coming very soon. And Stuff We Dig and all of our past end-of-show foods. That's monkeyradio.info. So all that on today's show. Can you believe it? Even risking our lives out there in the real world, I mean. What a value, my fellow monkeys.
Tasty.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Funny People Talking and Elsie at Elsie the Producer. And please, for the love of all that is holy, subscribe to the show and leave us a damn review and a really, really good rating on iTunes. Pretty please? Thank you.
Elsie is here with us. Hello, Elsie.
Hello.
All right, Elsie and Ben and I are going to unearth a game called Let's Make Up a Song.
Unearth. I like that. We're going to unearth.
Okay.
I like things that I'm good at.
Okay, now what's cool about this is we have Steve Benson here with us on the guitar. I love saying that. The guitar. I don't say guitar. I say guitar. And he's going to do his best to improv with us and play along. I don't know how this is going to work, so it's like throwing a lot of ingredients in here. But so the way this works, folks, is we give each other a couple of concepts, words or whatever, and then that person has to make up a song on the spot. It's got to rhyme. It's got to have some level of melody.
Just doesn't have to. Can't suck. Essentially.
I really can't promise anything, Ben.
All right.
But with the added value of having Steve on accompaniment, I don't know. This could get crazy.
It's a lot of pressure.
All right, so hey Elsie, you wanna go first, or do you want to give someone words first?
I'll give it a shot. Go ahead, hit me.
Ooh.
Wow.
Like Rocky Balboa.
Right. Ben, you give her one. I'll give her one.
All right. Lightning.
Okay, Ben's got lightning, and I've got slip and slide. Lightning and slip and slide. Make up a song. Make it rhyme. It has to have the words lightning and slip and slide in it. And Steve's going to try to play along. I don't know how this is going to work. Quick, have fun.
La la la. Is that you got that pitch there? All right. One day I was playing on my slip and slide, and it was starting to rain outside. And my mama had told me, don't play in the rain, 'cause sometimes then you'll get hit by lightning.
All right. Elsie with the home run. Good job. Well done. All right. I'll volunteer for that.
All right.
Just because there's no way I can follow it.
All right.
I just wanted to add that was not a true story.
No, not.
Remains to be seen.
So we'll see. Your day is not over yet. All right. So hit me. What do you got? Elsie, what do you got?
Mud pies.
Mud pies. Ben?
I was going to say that.
Were you really?
I got to think for a minute now.
Oh, come on. We only have an hour show.
All right. Couch.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I got to think on the spot.
Mud pies and couch. All right, start in. Okay. I was laying on my couch, dreaming of mud pies. Girlfriend came in, said stop being a slouch and stop telling me lies. Mud pies, got it, see? All right, now one more for Ben.
All right.
Ben, we're going to still do this again. All right. Elsie, what do you got for Ben?
Why don't you go first this time?
All right, oh, okay. Caterpillar.
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 Unicorn.
Oh, we're giving it to Ben.
What was that?
Caterpillar and unicorn.
And unicorn. Oh gosh.
All right, fire away. Here we go.
It was a quiet night. I was walking through the desert on my unicorn, you see. When a caterpillar caught my eye in the far distance beyond you or me. So our unicorn and I, we galloped on and we met this caterpillar eye on. And I said, excuse me there, mister. What you doing in my desert? Well, he crawled around and he said to me, you better understand, son. This is my desert, up and down. You better take a run, round and round. Where to, I said. He said, in my brain. I said, I can't go there. Please explain. He couldn't quite do it. I said, I gotta go. He said, hey, buddy. Just to let you know, it's time to you to go, and you better run far away. You better stay away. The caterpillar's gonna come and eat you any day. Caterpillar and unicorn, friends for life. But soon the caterpillar ate the unicorn in strife. He ran through the desert, he ran through the sand, he ran to the moon. Oh, my friend, he ran to meet the Sandman in his dreams. Caterpillar and unicorn, forgotten to whence they came. Galloping farther to the sun, galloping farther to the run, the caterpillar ran, and in spite he said to me this one little secret. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to go. Get out of all this snow. It's time for you to go. Go. Mysteries galore. The caterpillar in store. The unicorn all dead, but his thorn. His horn will ride with me to my dying day. My unicorn friend named Perry. Perry. The end. He died in the desert.
Oh, Ben. Let's go to the Ben Rose show. Ben Rose.
I had a unicorn. I was just telling us the whole story.
And I know. By the way, a little applause for Steve Benson on the guitar.
Steve, we should work together more often.
I know, that's really cool, man. We'll just put you two in a session again. Yes, all right, well, that was Make Up a Song. You know, it was all right. Good job, by the way, Elsie.
What an awesome group we are.
I know. It's like we should go on the road.
That's why I said that's my favorite game.
Oh, that was fun, Steve. Thank you. That was Make Up a Song.
Make up a song, believe in your dreams.
All right, Steve, why don't you play us out, and we will be back in just a minute with more on Monkey Radio. All right, Ben, we're back, and here with a new feature on Monkey Radio. I believe it's about Valentine's Day.
Learning's always fun.
I know. All right, well, here's Kim De Niro with a new feature, Compulsive.
And now, Compulsive.
Hi, friends. Valentine's Day approaches. A time of love, passion, gift-giving, and chocolatey bliss. Go ahead, hug your loved one a little tighter. Or just hug that cheap bottle of wine you got from your neighbor for Christmas a little tighter because the month of doom has arrived. Duane Reade has infiltrated the aisles with teddy bears and candy bliss, but single people have infiltrated the streets with bitterness and disdain. As the charm of the holidays fades, winter becomes a dreary pit of doom and dry skin, only made better by someone to buy you chocolates and maybe some flowers. For those of us without that special someone, though, we are forced to watch as the horror of Hallmark devours everything sane and right in the world. We watch horror movies with friends, we order and comfort food and reminisce with the ghosts of romance past. We walk straight through couples in the street holding hands. We all get a room at two people simply exchanging affectionate glances. And we do this because, well, we're alone. And thanks a heap, St. Valentine, for dedicating an entire day to dreaded defeat and saccharine sentimental sap. I learned the cruel tricks of Valentine's Day early in life. I was 12, and I was scandalously dating a younger man of 11. Our heated romance began in 6th grade homeroom when you couldn't resist the way I did my locker combination. Or perhaps it was the way the copious amount of glitter I wore sparkled on my cheeks in the fluorescent lighting. Our passionate affair was tinged with mystery because his parents didn't allow him to have a girlfriend until he officially turned 12. Lucky for me, his birthday was on Valentine's Day, and we were ready to declare our love in public, despite the fact that our romance consisted strictly of awkward smiles and online conversation on Kids AOL. On the morning of Valentine's Day, I prepared my gift of a giant Hershey kiss and a box full of love notes I scribbled in girlish bubble letters. Homeroom began, and I sat down only to see my beloved walking toward my desk. Was he going to tell me he loved me? Was he going to propose? No. He looked at me and said, "There's a pep rally today. We're going to hold hands because that's what's cool. And if you don't start talking to me in homeroom, we're breaking up. Oh, and here." He handed me an unsealed card. I opened the envelope to find a blank bat mitzvah card with a garish gorilla on the front. This would be hilarious if it were ironic and intentional, but I had a feeling he just walked into CVS and stole the first thing that looked like a card. The pep rally came and we held hands just like he demanded. His hands were sweaty and huge, and every time we clapped for the basketball team, we had to awkwardly finagle our clasp. After the pep rally, there was pizza, which I decided to just stare at because it's common belief at 12 that women don't need food to survive. Homeroom boyfriend came up to my pizza table and said, "We're breaking up." This was more embarrassing than painful. I had a clique of girls to impress with my prepubescent man candy. He continued, "Aren't you going to cry?" So I said, "No." And he said, "Okay then, bye." And I threw his bat mitzvah card at his face, declaring that he was uglier than the gorilla than with forced fervor. He retorted, "Whatever." The card missed his face and floated with melancholy movement to the top of his Nike sneakers. And well, that was that. I was single again, and I hadn't even started shaving my legs. It has been 12 years since Homeroom Boyfriend, yet Valentine's Day is yet to truly mature into the romantic love fest I once believed it to be. Whether it's a pep rally or a desperate drunken bar crawl, hand-holding or ravishing kiss, a gorilla card or a heart necklace from K Jewelers, because every kiss begins with K. The day usually ends with the question, spoken or not, "Are you going to cry?" My answer will always be no. And yours should be too, single or not. Just think, in a few weeks, there will be Easter eggs lining the Duane Reade walls, and there's nothing less sexy than a massive bunny that lays eggs. Happy Valentine's Day. If you need me, I'll be throwing darts at pictures of my exes I hijacked from their Facebook page. And if you're going to be on a candlelit date, just don't be surprised if I knock those candles and burn the place down.
Impulsive.
All right. I'm really not sure why when women imitate men, they always sound like Neanderthals. This is like...
Well, I think guys also do, like, this thing, like, whenever I do an impression of a girl, it's like, "Oh my god," and then he did that thing, and it's not that at all.
That's true.
You know?
Well, anyway, if you want to check out more of Kim DeNaro's material and her views on love lives, Valentine's Day, other holidays, and
that was great. It felt like an autobiography.
I know. You can go to kimberdin.blogspot.com. So that was Kimberly DeNaro, everybody.
A pleasure.
We will be back right after this. All right, everybody, welcome back to Monkey Radio. That is Steve Benson on the guitar. All right, let's talk to Steve for a minute. You are a guitar player.
This is true.
Is that the only instrument that you play?
No, I also play mandolin, banjo, and electric bass, and drums, too. Kind of that order of proficiency.
No, you, yeah. Mainly guitar. And you are a great guitar player. I've watched you play a lot. And I know you play a lot in the pits of Broadway shows. But you also do other music, right?
Yeah, I do. I play a lot of jazz, and I have done some writing of music here and there over the years. And I play R&B and blues and some classical music, too.
What is your favorite type of music to play? If you could only, you're stuck on a desert island, you can only play one music ever. What is it?
That's tough. Gosh, probably jazz.
Throw a little jazz on that guitar.
Okay.
I love how someone can just do that.
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean.
That's crazy, man. That's beautiful. So, Steve, if we want to hear some of your music outside of the Monkey Radio Show, where can people check out your music?
Yeah, there's a project that I finished a CD on about 6 months ago, and it's called Manhattan Prairie Reserve is the name of the band. And the album is Across Wyoming, and you can find it on CD Baby. Manhattan Prairie Reserve is what you would put in, CD Baby.
All right, check it out, everybody. Steve Benson's music, along with his fellow musicians, yes? Yes. Manhattan Prairie Reserve.
That's right.
Check it out. Thanks, Steve. Glad you're here. All right, so we are going to have our next interview. Elsie, I think we're going to have get Chad on the phone. All right, we got Chad Beguelin. He is a two-time Tony-nominated writer, lyricist. He's won a Drama Desk Award. He's worked on shows like Elf and The Wedding Singer, and I believe the upcoming Aladdin. Ooh, very exciting. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second here. Wait a minute. Wesley from Baconery just brought over a couple of treats. One is, what is this? This is a crepe.
It looks like it.
It looks like a chocolate, maybe chocolate strawberry bacon crepe with powdered sugar all over it. Holy cow! Let's take a taste of this.
Honestly, decadent. Folks.
It is decadent. Baconery doesn't mess around, man. Let's
really don't.
I'll have another one of those, please.
Yeah, that disappeared pretty quick.
And he also brought over, I believe this is hot chocolate with bacon in it, I think. It's hot chocolate with bacon in it.
Delicious.
It's just, hello, Jim. I'm coming to you shortly. And lift a few weights and do a few sit-ups, apparently, because...
Yikes.
I have never thought to have hot chocolate with bacon in it before.
Who would?
That is crazy. Is this hot chocolate with bacon in it? That is crazy. The bacon. All right, so we got to move on with the show. I'm being derailed by all this bacon, Ben, because we're recording the show in Baconery.
We are.
Let's get Chad on the phone. We got him on the phone. All right. By the way, our interview today is brought to you, sponsored by the Monkey Radio with Marc Amazon page.
Ooh.
So, folks, listen. Most of you probably use Amazon.com in one way or another. You can buy electronics, you can buy gifts, you can buy candy, you can buy cameras, you can buy downloads, you can buy a million things on Amazon. Well, now, if you go to monkeyradio.info and you click on the Amazon link on our front page, it'll take you right to the Amazon page, and you can buy your stuff just like you always do. It'll cost you exactly the same amount, not a penny more, but you will be able to help support Monkey Radio with Marc monetarily, help monetize the show, keep us on the air, keep bringing you great interviews like the one we're about to have, and all the entertainment we bring, and musicians like Steve Benson.
We want to keep the charm, folks.
We do.
Help us keep it.
All right, so please, if you're going to be buying a gift or buy something for yourself, go to monkeyradio.info, click the Amazon link. Doesn't cost you a penny more. It'll help us out. Please give it a try. Elsie, we've got Chad on the phone. All right, everybody, Chad Beguelin. Chad is a Tony-nominated lyricist, a Drama Desk Award recipient. He has worked on shows like Elf, Wedding Singer, Aladdin. I can't even begin to talk about the experience that this man has had and the impact recently on the world of Broadway and theater. Let's welcome him to the show, Monkey Radio, Chad Beguelin.
Hello.
Woo. All right, thanks for coming on the show, Chad.
No problem.
All right, right off the bat, I gotta ask you, what is it like to be nominated for a Tony Award?
It was pretty great. I mean, they have this big party every year beforehand, and so everybody gets pretty wasted. So I woke up and my phone was already ringing. So I was sort of hungover and like, wait, what's going on? And so, yeah, it was pretty surprising because we sort of weren't really thinking about it, and just were sort of whatever happens, and had this whole sort of kick back attitude towards it. And then, of course, once we found out we were nominated, everything kicked into high gear, and it got really exciting.
Awesome.
That's amazing, man. So what's it like to receive a Drama Desk Award? I'm getting this stuff out of the way. I'm getting the big, exciting award stuff out of the way. let's celebrate you as a theater hero for a second.
Yeah, well, the Drama Desk Awards are really great too, but unlike the Tonys, it's not televised and everything. It also goes on for about 43 hours. So the one thing we didn't realize is that there's sort of no food, and everybody was like eating the inside of their mouth by the time it was over. It was, it was a great honor, but the show's a little long. So by the end, you're just, falling asleep and dying of hunger.
All right, so let's get to the skinny then. Tell us about yourself. I know you're a lyricist. I know you're a musician. You're a writer. How would you describe Chad Beguelin? What is he as an artist?
Super awesome. No, I don't know.
Okay, interview over. Thanks for being on the show.
That's it. No problem. I was always a big fan of theater growing up, and I come from a really, really small town in southern Illinois, and sort of the first time I saw a professional show was in St. Louis, and it really, it blew my mind. I got really excited and thought, like, wow, you could actually do this as a career. So ever since, then just sort of, started writing, went to school for writing, and, paid my dues bartending and answering phones, and, finally got a couple breaks.
What show was the first one you saw that turned you on to theater?
It was a touring production of Evita, and it was, in my head, I was a kid, and so in my head, I didn't know that this was something that people actually got paid to do, and, I thought it was just something that, at the church, they put on a play, and that's the end of that. So, it was a whole new thing for me.
And then one day you found out you can get paid, and you're like, what? I get paid for that?
Exactly. I'm going to need some money now.
All right, so you went to school for writing.
Yeah.
And what did that, how did that transition into you getting a break somewhere along the way?
Well, it was really just about sending out your stuff as much as you can. I think that's true for any artist or, writer, musician, anything. You just have to keep sending stuff out and sending stuff out. And finally, someone will, look through their pile of letters and read yours and say, all right, come in for a meeting. But it's just, you sort of have to be really tenacious because you have to make your own luck, especially in, New York City.
So as you were in that process, what would you say is that quit moment, that moment when you, well, I should ask you, was there ever a quit moment? Was there ever that moment when you wondered if it was all worth it?
Yeah, well, one of the first musicals that my writing partner and I ever had professionally done was, for Broadway, you go out of town and you sort of test the show, and, you get reviewed and you fix it and you make it better and you bring it into Broadway. And this was our first show, and it was scheduled for Broadway, and it went out of town, and it did not go well. And so basically the shot at Broadway was taken away, and we were left with nothing. And, it was that point where I said to my writing partner, I said, this is it. Like, we give up, we go find something else to do, I go teach or get a degree in something else, or we just go all in and just keep going and start our next show and just realize that that's the way it's going to be. So that was the real turning point, I think, where it was like, either throw your hands up and walk away or just go all in and, accept the fact that it may never happen, but you're just going to spend the rest of your life trying.
What changed that for you? What pushed you to keep going, and where did the luck turn?
Well, I think, for me it was really, I just don't want to do anything else. I can't do anything else. It was just that sort of passion to write and be involved with theater and the arts. So it just sort of, there was no choice, and after that, I kept sending out scripts and, trying to get meetings with people, and I just happened to get a meeting with a guy who was working at New Line Features, who, through some weird chain of events, happened to have a CD from the show that never came to Broadway, and he was like, I love this music. And he said, look, we're trying to find writers for The Wedding Singer, and I was like, I love that movie. And he said, well, let's, write a sample song and we'll see what'll happen. And so everything sort of turned around, and that was the first Broadway show I ever wrote. But it was really just by sticking it out,
What was the feeling of, as soon as you found out you guys were good to go, what was your initial reaction?
I mean, it's so funny because you always think it never seems real until you see it announced in the paper. You're always like, it's really going to happen, or is something going to, when's the other shoe going to drop? And so I think that was when it felt real, was when it, when it was actually announced and they were putting up the billboards, and, then it was like, okay, no turning back now.
Awesome.
Let's skip ahead. The thing you're most known for, Chad, The Wedding Singer and now Elf, which are both transitioned from motion pictures and then put on the stage. They're big, notorious pieces of work. How does something like that end up happening? There's a film, and they're so well known, they're so popular, and people know what they are. And you must get this question all the time. How can you take something that is so well known, put it on the stage, and dare to put music to it and try to capture in your music the same feeling that people expect to get from the film they remember, and then they come and spend all this money to see it on Broadway, and they want that same feeling, except the experience is actually completely different? How as a musician, do you play into that and handle that and deal with that?
Well, for Wedding Singer and for Elf, we were both lucky in that both of those films have characters that sing all the time. And for Wedding Singer, I actually co-wrote the script with this guy Tim Herlihy, who wrote all of Adam Sandler's movies and was a head writer at SNL. And, he and I had a great working relationship, or at least I think so. But he's probably like, I hate that bastard. But he, was really great about making sure that we maintained the sort of feel and heart of the movie. So our goal was that it had the same sort of tentpole moments that the movie had, so that people that were super fans of the movie would come in and they're going to get a rapping granny, and they're going to get, somebody kill me, they're going to get those moments. But it was also an opportunity, because you don't want to just plop the movie down on stage, because what's the point? To find things, find moments that are new, or new ways to express them. And Tim was really great. There were some changes that I brought up that I thought he would think were crazy, but, I said, can Rosie the rapping granny actually be Robbie Hart's grandmother, so that we don't have to have all these other characters and we don't have to spend this time? And he was like, that's such a great idea, we should have done it in the movie. So he was very open to the process. So we try to find those moments that super fans expect, but also some surprises, along the way.
How do you deal with the critics, Chad, that may you get constant raves on something, let's say, and then you have a critic that may be credible, it may be someone who is listened to by people or well-read, and they just don't agree with that, and they just pan you. What are your views on that in terms of reviews in the first place, and secondly, how do you deal with that feedback?
Well, I miss, I wish it was like it was in the old days, where, critics would come to opening night, and then, it would be a day or two later when the reviews would come out. So you could just sort of celebrate and have a good time. But now opening nights on Broadway, everybody's smiling and, trying to have a good time, but everybody is secretly panicking and waiting, for their, iPhones to go off and to see what the reviews are. So it's the necessary evil, I guess. There are shows that, not even speaking of my own, that I thought were amazing that didn't get good reviews at all, and then there are shows I think are terrible that get raves. So you just sort of have to trust your own gut and, trust the rest of the people on the creative team and do your best work. But it is that thing that's sort of hanging over the entire process, because at some point somebody's going to sit down and, put in black and white what they think of your show, and it's going to go out to everybody in the world. So you sort of have to just try and be as tough-skinned as possible.
Amen, man. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you something from a different angle, Chad. Both Ben and I actually, in addition to having the show and everything, we're both actors, and we're both musical theater actors. So I'm very interested, from your standpoint as someone who's involved with the process on a production side at an executive level in a Broadway show, what is some of the most important pieces of advice that you can give actors auditioning for a show at that level? And that's a pretty wide question, but I'm going to throw it at you anyway.
No, not at all. I mean, I think the thing that most actors think of when they get nervous before an audition is that, you know, the people on the other side of the table are going to be these, you know, really hard, you know, tough, mean people. But the fact is, everybody that walks in the door, we're praying that they're going to be great. We're trying so hard. We want so badly for that to be the person, you know. And I've heard actors say, like, oh, you know, I get so nervous before I go in, but I'm here to tell you, we're hoping that you're it so we can go home. So we want to be like, yes, that's it. That's the person. We're done. You know, so it really is not the sort of antagonistic situation on the other side of the table. It's everybody really, really pulling for every single person that comes through the door because you're looking for that perfect fit.
It's good to hear.
All right, switching gears, because that's what we do on this show, man. Switching gears again. I'm just all over the map with you, Chad. I want to hit each little nugget of information that someone like you can bring to all of us theater peons. What would you say is the process that you follow? And I know you get asked that question a lot probably, but what are the thought processes that go through your head as you're trying to construct a song and you say, I have to put a song in this part of a show. A song has to go here, and now I have to make one. So when you're working with your partner, what kind of a process do the two of you go through to try to make something like that appear?
Well, usually, you know, we figure out the scene first, or if we're working with another book writer, you know, meet with them and try and figure out what the point of the scene is. And then, you know, for a good musical theater song, you want it to either reveal character or push the story forward, or in the best case scenario, do both at the same time. So, you know, you want the character to start at one place at the beginning of the song and at the end have learned something or revealed something, or, you know, some change have happened. And usually if I'm trying to do the lyrics first, we sort of go back and forth. I usually come up with a dummy lyric that inspires my writing partner to come up with a tune, and then I'll retrofit the lyrics. So that's usually the process. But for me, what I usually do is I do like a first draft, and then I read over, and then I panic, and then I sit down and watch a bunch of zombie movies on Netflix, and then I stop procrastinating and give myself a pep talk and get up and hit it again until it finally gets to a place where I feel like, okay, there's something here, and I can bring it to my writing partner and start to form it. But there's definitely always that point where you're like, oh God, this is horrible, and I'm never going to figure it out.
So what would you say is the thing that you most hope to accomplish artistically in your career that obviously you haven't done yet, that you're saying, this will be the moment I'll be happy?
It'll never happen. No. I don't know. I mean, I think, you know, just sort of continuing to work in the theaters and to work on Broadway is amazing. And I think just being able to hopefully sustain that and continue to grow and get better. And you know, with Elf, it was so great to see these kids come in and see their first, you know, live performance and just how excited they were. And, you know, I'm hoping that it sort of opened up that world to them like it happened to me when I was a kid. And you know, one of the fun things about Elf was after every show, I would go and I would see the kid that was most excited about being there, and I would say, hey, you want a backstage tour? And so I take, you know, the family backstage and show them around and introduce them to the cast and let them walk out of the stage door. And you know, being able to have some, you know, kids have that memory of the theater and have such a positive experience is something that, you know, I hope can continue.
You know, how much, it kind of brings a question to mind, how much of an impact on casting does a lyricist or a book writer have?
Well, it's basically everybody on the creative team, you know, the writers, the director, the choreographer, and of course the producers. Everybody has a vote. So everybody has what's called approval. You know, and of course, when there are differences of opinion, you sort of pick your battles and you sort of think, oh, all right, he's fine for that, but she has got to be the character. So there are definitely times when, you know, the team is divided, and so it always resolves itself, but, you know, everybody contractually has a vote, and that, you know, they must have approval. But it's never gotten down to a situation where one person is like, I'm not approving this person, because, you know, eventually you sort of trust your collaborators.
Great. All right, we're almost out of time, but I do have a couple quick questions for you, and then we're going to have a little fun with you, Chad. Not that this interview hasn't been a blast. I don't mean to imply it at all. What would you say, have you ever had an aha moment in your travels in the theater, particularly on Broadway, kind of this revelation moment, and you say, oh my God, now I understand, now I get it? And if so, what was that?
It's funny, sort of the idea of when you're writing and everybody's in the room, and it's sort of the idea that whoever has the best idea wins. It doesn't matter whose idea it is. So even just the most random person can say, oh, what about this? And, I used to think, oh, no, I'm the writer. But now it's like, oh, bring it on. What do you got? And he got an idea. So I think I learned that from Tom Meehan, who wrote Annie. He was always a big proponent of, ask everybody, get everybody's opinion, and then, use the best idea as opposed to just trying to do it all yourself.
Fantastic. Thank you. Last question, and that is, what do you have coming up? Is there anything that you want to plug? Anything you want to mention's coming up for you, or any place you want to send our listeners?
Well, there are two things coming up for me. I have a play I wrote called Harbor, which is a straight play, no music, that's going up at Primary Stages here in New York this summer. And also, Aladdin is now officially coming to Broadway as of last night. So,
congratulations.
Awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, it goes to Toronto in November, and then it opens in March on Broadway at the New Amsterdam Theater.
All right, way to go. Congratulations.
Nicely done.
Good stuff, man. That's Chad Beguelin, everybody, and good sport. And so what we're going to do now, we have the rare opportunity, Chad, where we have this incredibly talented Broadway lyricist book writer on our show. We have this game that we play called Make Up a Song. Now, can't really let this golden opportunity go by because we played the game earlier on the show.
Okay.
So would you be up for playing around with this with us? Basically, what it is we give you a couple of concepts, and then you have to kind of make up a song on the spot.
All right.
Up for it?
I'll give it a try.
All right, you're the man. Thank you very much. Ben will give you one concept, and I'll give you the other.
Okay.
Let's go with a river.
A river. A river as in like a stream, a river, right?
Yes, maybe a partially bigger than a stream. A large river.
Awesome. And then I will add the concept of bacon.
Bacon.
So, Chad, you need to make up a song. It doesn't have to be long. It has to be sung. And you have to use the words river and bacon in the song. It has to rhyme, by the way. That's important.
Oh, excellent.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Chad Beguelin, Tony-nominated lyricist, Drama Desk Award, about to play Make Up a Song.
There's a place called Bacon River where everybody goes. It's my favorite fast food restaurant for skanks and hoes. Come on down to Bacon River, and I promise you that when you leave from Bacon River, your river will be fat. The end.
All right, Chad Beguelin.
Love a jingle, really.
All right.
I'm sold.
It's a jingle song, a jingle. It's a single.
Yeah.
It really is. All right, well, thank you very much, Chad. Go check out his show. What's the name of it this summer again?
It's called Harbor at Primary Stages.
Harbor at Primary Stages. All right. Go check it out, folks. Chad Beguelin, thanks for being on the show, man. Good sport.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Chad.
That was a great interview, huh, Ben?
It was a great interview indeed.
That guy is a master. We had him on the show and he created a song on ours. We had a two-time Tony-nominated lyricist and a Drama Desk Award just make up a song on our show.
He was a very nice guy.
Nobody's ever heard that song before. It was on our show. World premiere.
We've been nominated for Best Comedy Podcast in the People's Choice Podcast Awards for the second consecutive year. I mean, you can't pay our rent with that, but still, 2 years in a row. That's pretty good, isn't it?
All right, you know what time it is? It's time for End of Show Food!
She loves bacon, she's cantankerous, and her cat's an adjustment. She's the producer, it's Elsie.
You know, I honestly thought you guys were going to sing along with me on that.
I wanted to see what you were going to do, honestly. I'm just kind of waiting.
I'm really disappointed.
I'm not.
I feel really let down.
I got everything I wanted out of that.
So, all right, Elsie, this is a special end of show food because we are in Baconery. So what's going on here?
We're tasting the bacon goodness.
How's that going to happen?
Well, Wesley was kind enough to give us some amazing chocolate peanut butter bacon cookies, which I'm dying to stuff down my throat because they're so tasty.
All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to talk to Wesley Klein, the owner of Baconery, the creator of Baconery, yes?
Yes.
And
yes.
All right, so Wesley Klein, welcome to the show. Great sponsor and friend of the show. And this is special end of show food. We're actually getting the person responsible for this wonderful food we're having today, and he's going to present to us our end of show food. So what do we have?
We have a chocolate peanut butter bacon cookie.
Oh my God! I don't know how that's going to compare with the other amazing bacon things we've had today, but let's check it out. What are these chocolate peanut butter bacon cookies? Is that right?
It gets better the more you talk about it.
He eats bacon all day long.
I'm fine. Yeah. That's all I eat here.
All right,
bacon.
here we go.
I'm not sharing, by the way.
Not sharing? All right, let's give it a try. What do we think here?
Yeah. Folks, you don't even understand, and that's the sad thing. If you got to come down here, order.
Baconery.com, everyone. This is amazing. I don't know how they blend the chocolate and the bacon taste so well. You really almost can't pick out one of them. They're well blended.
And just a damn good cookie anyway.
I know, really good cookie. It's not even like over rich. It's just a beautiful taste sensation. What do you think, Steve? Steve thinks it's great. Hey, Steve, can you express your delight in musical sensation? It's like, hey, I love my bacon cookie. Hey, I love my bacon cookie. That is not the official Baconery jingle just said. That was just like off the cuff. We'll do better than that. All right, that was great. So, hey, let's get a quick word from Wesley. Wesley, tell us about Baconery. How did that start? How did that come about?
Baconery started my love of breakfast and dessert. You know, I love like French toast and bacon and like pouring maple syrup over bacon. You know, I just like having a dessert after every meal. I realized why not put the two together, and I did.
What was the moment that you said, I can make this a business?
Probably about a year and a half ago when, doing a lot of research, looking online, just, once I bit into it and I gave it to a bunch of friends and they're like, this is amazing. I'm like, yep, here we go.
All right. Well, I'm really glad you did, actually.
Well, yes. Thank you.
Not only are you a great loyal sponsor of the show, thank you, but we happen to really personally enjoy, I don't know, Elvis sandwich, chocolate bacon cookie, chocolate bacon, hot chocolate, I don't know. I'm getting lost in all the wonderfulness. So.
There's so much more.
Can't wait.
We got
all right.
Valentine's around the corner, so feel like bacon love.
All right.
Bacon love, everybody.
I love it. All right, here we go.
Coin here at Baconery.
All right, so let's give a big Monkey Radio applause to Wesley Klein at Baconery. And Steve, why don't you play us out of the show? So, what a great show, everybody. Thanks for Wesley for having us at Baconery. Thanks for just a great show. And Chad, Beguelin, and we had a great time, Ben.
Good time.
Good time, Elsie.
I love this place.
All right. Thanks, Steve Benson, for all of your great guitar magic. All right, that's another show, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Baconery.
Another great show. Have a great Valentine's Day. Have a great week. We will talk to you soon. Be careful out there. I'm going to have another bite of this cookie.
Traveling at more than 1,000 miles an hour. Because that's how fast the Earth rotates, so admittedly we're all going that speed. But it's still very, very fast. This has been Monkey Radio.
That's it? That's the end of the show? Boy, oh boy, what a crock. This was Funny People Talking.
No portion of the content may be reproduced or published without the strict written permission of the producers. Connect with our show at Funny People Talking or at our website, funnypeopletalking.com. I'm your announcer, Peter Coleman. Thanks for listening.
This is Mouth Media Network, the business of being heard.